Well, I believe I'm going to regret this choice. Hold on. We need to get to the game. I believe I'm going to regret this choice. There we go. Hold on, let me turn that down a little bit. I believe I might regret this choice. I have... Alright, so... Before anything is said, I have played Pathologic 2. I played through the entirety of that game. On my own time. It was a very fun game. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And by fun, I mean it was depressing, and I loved it. Every second of it. But yeah, we're playing Path 1, and I'm scared because I have a very good friend named Quinn, and she was the one who first recommended Path 2 to me. And she said, under no circumstances should I ever play Pathologic 1 because it would ruin me. And now here I am playing Pathologic 1, so... Sorry, Quinn. I had to do it eventually. I had to try. I'm not going in completely blind. I know the basics of how to play this game. Hold on. Let me just check something really quickly. You should know the controls. Specifically, it's... I need to know the controls for... also, the way that this is set up, because this game is extremely hard to run in a way that isn't contrived. I will be able to see chat, but I will not be able to see followers. So if anybody follows me while I'm playing this game, be warned that there's a good chance that I'm not going to be able to actually see you. I'm sorry. Because this game is taking up basically a lot of space on my screen. And I can't move it. So yeah, we're gonna play Pathologic. And also be nice to me because I've not played Path 1 ever. So I'm just learning the quick save and quick load buttons, F5 and F8. List of bound is T, letters is L. Okay. Let's fucking go.
So, it's all about trickery to you? Wherever have you come from?
No. I detest trickery. But if we ourselves are to suffer deception, our hands are no longer tied. Where
Alright.
are we?
Well, the muscular contraction is there. Means you're already inside of him. This must be one of the ventricles, right here.
What a silly place.
What a silly
It's
place.
stuffed.
Man.
So it's not real for now? I don't think it has started yet.
Does it matter what it's made of? It's definitely struggling. We need to perform sectio transversalis. Cut the wall. There's no other way out.
I'm
That's
sure.
what we do.
I know what to do. Those who favor hard logic and direct action are bound to be misguided.
Hold on.
Only a miracle can set us free without us having to destroy something. And I can do miracles. Just let me.
Will you please be quiet? You're a liar and a thief. Who is going to believe you when you keep lying to yourself? The truth is my shepherd. Whatever happens, I will find answers, and justice will be restored. I will perform the operation. Medicum morbo adhibe.
Don't you go all bossy on me, clever clogs. You will act justly, but your justice will blind you and become his demise. This calls for the gentle hand of a surgeon. Step aside, both of you.
Your gentle hands are used to killing, not giving life. You will inevitably do harm. As for Brainy, he has
This is
no
a...
regard for casualties.
I mean,
Neither
it was kind of the case in Path 2, but
Yes.
these guys do sound like they are just acting.
There's only one
Like,
Any choice is
I love
yours
that
to
sort of
decide.
touch that they
That's
sound like
the
they're
truth
they're
of the
like,
matter.
Only the heart will show you the right choice. Stop thinking about yourselves. Think of the sick. He's in pain. I can't see it yet, but I can feel it.
It's not even a trap. It's a grave. Subipsum funis sumus. Can't say I hold a soft spot for it.
I can see that. You're full of hate. Stuffed or not, it's breathing. I can hear it. It can be healed rather than killed.
You mean you won't become a killer? But you will. Mark my word, that's exactly what will happen. But I can
wow.
avoid it.
No, we won't ever get along. I suggest we be on our way. The sooner the better.
Off we go then?
Let's go. The clock is ticking.
Alrighty then. Wow. You see, the thing is, I know that. Okay. Character. Yep. All right. Now, I definitely should just start with The Bachelor, because The Bachelor is the easiest one of the group. I should start with the town jester.
Daniil Dankovsky, a Bachelor of Medicine, was brought here by circumstances most unfortunate. Dankovsky's life work, his theory challenging the existing notions of human mortality, is being harshly persecuted by the powers that be. Suddenly, a letter arrives from a colleague suggesting that there is previous undiscovered evidence which may support Dankovsky's claims. There is a
Okay.
settlement, the letter says, ruled by an extraordinary man who may well be seen as objective proof of Dankovsky's daring hypothesis. Grasping at straws of hope, Dankovsky decides to follow what he believes to be the sign of divine providence. Without further ado, he sets off for the settlement. Late at night, Bachelor arrives in the town. As he seeks room and board, he gets to know a girl called Eva Yan and stays at her place till dawn.
Okay. I mean, I know these characters. I have a decent idea of them. I've watched a lot of videos on Pathologic 1. So, hopefully this will prepare me adequately for Path Classic HD. Man, the music in this game is very weird. I love it. Oh, there he is. There's the old Gimski. There's Vlad. Big Vlad. He didn't change much from the conversion from Path 1 to 2. There's Simon. The Canes. See, I know the basic characters, and I know the basic plot outline of the game. If it's anything like Path 1, Path 2, I mean, then, you know. Is it weird that Eva Yan is wearing more in the original than she did in the sequel? That is very strange. Hey, Aglaya. As of today, my mission remains obscure. The examination of Simon Kane, who is rumored to be a man of incredibly longevity, may shake the very foundation of modern thanatology and challenge the existing notions of death itself. However, even if this undying Leviathan proves to be more than a fairy tale, the mere confirmation of his existence won't suffice to prevent the powers that be from shutting down our laboratory down. I need to figure out the most faithful approach. Simon is a well-respected man, and if he mistakes my interest for effort effrontery, I won't. It would be nigh impossible to convince him to help me break new ground in the field of human vitality. Day 1, by the end of which the bachelor finds himself battling a truly unvanquishable foe. Okay. Stuttering a little bit. Alright. Hello, Ava. How's it going?
I had a feeling you would
The
come.
sounds from outside wake you up too? There's a terrible groan and then something snapped loudly. No. I fell asleep so quickly I didn't even notice. It's like I fainted. So what sounds are you talking about? I think there are strangers in the backyard by the pond. They're unlikely to be planning mischief, but I have a bad feeling about this. I'm afraid to go out to them. I hope they go away and stop disturbing our sleep. I'd like to thank you for your hospitality, for board and bed. I sincerely hope you have everything you need, because I'm very happy to have you. Daniil, is it? Could you please tell me where the ruler, Simon Kane, lives? Are you willing to trade the company of a fascinated woman for that dreadful old man? Even if he is a sorcerer. That's so sad. But Simon won't go anywhere. He has always been. He always will be. Even if the moon were to fall to the ground. Please stay with me a little longer. Simon is a sorcerer. Did I hear that right? Is that the secret to his longevity? Are you that much of a hurry? Do come around. The Canes are asleep now. Take your knockabout coat off. Have a rest in my bed. Let me warm your hands. You're so anxious to see Simon, as though your life depended on it. My life. Yes, now that my laboratory is on the brink of destruction, my whole life's pursuit depends on that remarkable man. If he's really managed to live that long, then his tissues will help me defeat death. Death. So that's your enemy you've chosen for yourself. Isn't it hard? I don't think anyone has managed to defeat that evil yet. Millions of doctors defeated it on certain singular occasions, but my enemy is more fearsome. It is death itself rather than a singular case of death. I don't understand. I can barely understand it myself. Could death only seem inevitable to us, but in reality be nothing more than a whim of the will that had shaped this world? So that is the question. So where is the key to my victory? It's not far. The Canes live at the Crucible on Bridge Square. But could I offer you a piece of advice? I need no advice. Fuck. Go on. Simon has 2 younger brothers. The eldest of 2, Georgi, is called the judge by the locals. Visit him first. He isn't asleep. He'll teach you how to speak with Simon. The youngest of the 3 is Victor. His daughter, Maria, also wanted to see you. It's probably important. Was it she who knew about my arrival beforehand? Yes, she told me about it privately. Talking to her is no simple task. Maria is that kind of person. She puts on airs, but that's just how the Canes are. It was Maria who told me that she would help you defeat death. That's the precise wording. What a coincidence. Alright, thank you for the advice. Go, and I'll prepare everything for your return. Do come back after you speak to the Canes. They will probably do a lot of things that will puzzle you and put you on guard. I will have some advice that may help you if you need it. Okay, I'll come back. Okay, this is the map. Alright, let's get started. I should just go right to the Canes, right? Oh, hello. Halt! I'm going to teach you about the technicalities of the setting. The time and the place, it's not essential, but that's just how it is. The actor has to be prepared before he goes on stage, or else he'll fall down the aisle or stumble upon the prompt box. That would look mighty silly, wouldn't you agree? Speak, I'm listening. Time flies by. It can't be stopped or turned back. Night follows days, which are followed by nights. Things happen without any regard for whether you're able to witness them. Don't expect anyone to wait for you. Most events can be missed. And so, it would make sense for you to visit the places you care about regularly. You'll find people that will play major roles in their fate there. They stand out from the common folk. The rest are just a crowd shot, a background, a bunch of extras. As it has always been. Indeed. Still, it's best to avoid hasty judgment. It's a paradox, you see. Don't try to care too much for the lives of these bound to stand out people. And don't be too dismissive of the silent crowd. Both extremes will end in tragedy. Why is that? The world cares for your reputation, a fine and crucial instrument. Your reputation changes the world, you see, for it is a mirror. Wouldn't you agree? And so a bad reputation can get you in a lot of trouble. For example, need I describe? You've got a vivid imagination. Everything changes from mystical aspects to mundane things, like the people you need treating you badly, how many enemies you got, how high your prices are, how bad your dreams are, lots of things. Sorry, prospect. So how do I maintain my reputation? Really? How is that even a question? Same as anywhere. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not betray, do not steal, do not covet, do not be an asshole, don't get caught. Do not get caught. The rules are the same everywhere. A truly selfless deed, like risking something for thy neighbor, or even a person who lives quite far away, can help in a dire situation. I see. Really? Good for you, then. As for me, I can't see anything in this mask. I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, don't get too worked up about human lies, and don't put too much stock in others' words, mine included. He who trusts everyone is asking to be deceived. Definitely. Alright, what do you have to say? Venerable Bachelor, please be so kind as to linger for a minute. This conversation won't take too much of your time, especially since time stops during dialogue, at least during the important ones, and our dialogue is extremely important. You need to know how to play, after all, don't you? Play? What are you talking about, Masked Man? I'm neither a gambler nor an actor. Of course you aren't. You're a living, breathing man, as is evident from your conditions and statuses. You experience hunger, thirst, and fatigue. You suffer from pain, wounds, and diseases. You're so lifelike. You have to eat, drink, sleep, and rest. And to make mistakes. The latter being the most definitive proof of my human nature, wouldn't you agree? If I may, I would like to point out just how important it is to keep your eye on your conditions. If you get dizzy or are naturally sluggish, do have it checked up. Vital processes tend to run faster during emergencies than in everyday life. I knew a person who died of stress but was diagnosed with starvation. It happens, I can testify that as a doctor. Need I remind a wise man like you that the fact that hunger is sated with food can be found in shops. Shops can be found in ordinary houses that are marked with specific signs. Sleep, however, is more complicated. People only sleep in beds, and only in private residences around here. I'm sorry, that's just how our world is. Yes, the world is unjust. And quite silly, if you forgive me for saying. Speaking of commerce, different shops sell similar items at different prices. Make sure you don't get cheated. People can be brazen around here. You can also barter with folks on the street. Some things may be nothing more than trinkets to you, but others would be willing to part with their life's blood for it. Blood? Yes, blood. It's not my place to lecture you, but if following your Hippocratic oath, you ever consider easing someone's pain, feel free to approach them with a suitable drug. You will see their pain receding before your eyes. The sick fall asleep when they are close to recovery, don't they? Or when they're close to their ultimate rest. Still, helping the hopeless will grant you good reputation. You will be seen as a benefactor, willing to part with precious sleeping draught or a painkiller for a simple bystander. Anything else? No, not yet. Show me the way to Simon's house. Turn left, then walk along the alley. You'll see the cathedral and 3 mansions across the bridge street. Simon lives in that one. That's the closest to the one that's closest to the river. Thank you. Alright, before we do that, though, I'm gonna... Oh, this is the walking speed. Oh. Hey, look, it's the guys in Eva's backyard. We should probably have a chat with these guys before we go. Hold on, I need to look at the controls again. Because I need to look at and see if... Oh, they saw me. Hello. I need to look at the controls again, because Settings, controls. What is the save one? Quick save, quick load. F5, F8. Okay. Alright, cool. I'm just gonna save real quick and talk to these guys. The worm feels sick, head packed, blood boiling, belly freezing. Let the worm warm up. Let him take a rest. Don't touch us. We're dangerous. Whoa, that's some stench, you animal. How on earth do you even live like that? What the fuck, Daniil? Jesus, that's so mean. What do you want? This ain't your business. What is this creature? An Odong, duh. That's what all them cattle breeders look like. Crude, unshapely, and unfinished. Don't you know wherever you came from? An intruder, huh? You are intruding. Go away. Don't you see he's sick? He's a runaway, this Odong. Hiding him all night long, I did. We'll march across the river now, or else here he dies. Give him a break, will ya? He ain't gonna bite your head off. Be on your way, and watch out, too. We don't need no witnesses. Can do some killing if we must. Fine, I'm leaving. Relax. I won't tell anyone about you. Yeah, I'm not stupid enough to fight those guys. I know what happens if you fight those guys. I've seen enough Pathologic videos. To quote, in Pathologic, how fights work is you get beaten to death within a matter of seconds. And I also know that you should grab stuff from the trash cans. See? I know what I'm doing. Where am I? Oh, I'm right there. I should know this layout by now. I've played enough Path 1. Path 2, I mean. Alright. Let's go. Dun, 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 dun. Dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on, let me get around here. Alrighty. This is the right one. Hello.
I'm dead.
Most venerable doctor, it is with great impatience that we have been expecting you. You need not delve into the minutes of your business with us, since our family is well acquainted with your scholarly work. We are also quite aware of the difficulties you are expecting and well prepared to do our utmost to support you. It hurts me all the more to be the one to inform you that Simon, my considious brother, the creator, keeper, and embodiment of all that surrounds us, has been murdered. I can't believe it. It cannot be. My brother was murdered last night under the strangest circumstances, but for all the mystery surrounding his death, I'd rather eschew the notion that his departure was connected with whoever had visited Simon that evening. The visitor is a man of laudable rectitude, and an old friend of our family. There are witnesses to testify that he and Simon did nothing but converse. Who was the visitor? Someone you know quite well. A man my brother saw last night was your colleague, Isidore Burak. Was he not the very person to advise you to come here as well? Yes. Isidore has done more than he thinks. I have lingered feeling that time itself is using uncontestable powers to further his own intentions. What do you think? I'm no fatalist. It could be that my mind is clouded by sorrow, but I cannot escape the feeling that your arrival was no coincidence. Your choice was made for you, my dear doctor. Let us not blame fate for it. Isidore wrote to you without making us aware. He took a risk that could have displeased our family. Really? Even though we were uncertain of when you would arrive, my brother was looking forward to meeting you. The tragedy may have been consequence of the actions he took in preparation for your arrival. Someone has taken a powerful piece from the chessboard, a piece upon which your position here depended. It is doubly regrettable that Simon was playing on your side. So you presume the queen knew of the blow and sacrificed itself for the pawn. But why? To grant you victory over death. Was it not your ultimate aspiration? To help you. Simon seems to have played a very dangerous game with fate itself. He went out his way to provide you with a body of evidence. What did he do? It is of no importance to me what exactly he did. He took another leap for the stars and paid a terrible price for it. I repeat, he was murdered. The subject of importance here is the identity of the murderer. Everything has gone to rack and ruin. I wish I could take vengeance upon the person who ripped the life from this man. Do you want to help us, Doctor? Find the murderer for us. My brother Victor, who is in the wing next door, would share some of his thoughts on the matter. Help us and the reward will not disappoint you. Indeed, it seems that there are too many coincidences. Your brother's murder can't just... Indeed, it seems that there are too many coincidences. Your brother's murder can just as well be the murder of a bachelor Denkovsky. I will help you in every way I can. I am convinced that if there is anyone at all that can help us solve this puzzle, then it is you. This mission calls for someone as astute and attentive as yourself. I'm sure that's... Thanks for buttering him up. That's exactly what he needs. If Isidore was an instrument of fate, then Simon's murder is a message that fate intended for you personally. Do you not think I am inclined to blame you for that? I am not. How do you plan to look for the murderer? We will take our own measures. The only thing I expect from you is to be yourself. Do only what you think is required. Whatever you find out, whatever you do, whatever your day turns into, everything is a clue to the solution of this puzzle. I repeat, everything that is happening here is happening on your account. Fine. I'm fine with this course of action. Okay.
So the
I'm counting on
Summerwoods
you,
have
Doctor.
offered patronage to some changeling. Who is she?
Some changeling. Whether the locals could help me. Whose words can be trusted? I don't know for how long you will remain here, Doctor. You are most welcome to be my guest, even though I won't try to keep you while you are here, especially since you are trying to find out the truth, it is my duty to offer you a piece of advice. I would be grateful for it. It has a history of its own. There is not enough time to retell to you, which is unfortunate since it is the background of the town that may possibly justify some local conventions that will most likely seem barbaric to an educated person like yourself. Not at all. There are 3 truths that rule this town, 3 origins, 3 ideas, if you will. For several generations, these 3 powers have been in conflict with each other. I suspect none of them can exist without the other 2, yet each of them still strives to dominate. Each of them has its own voice, too. Tell me more. These voices are the ruling families, the co-owners of the Bull Project, who have been ruling the town for almost 2 centuries. Each one of the truths they represent is screaming at the top of its lungs, and in doing so, travesties, whatever value it carries. Who are they? The first voice is the Sabarovs, the second is the Olgimskis, the third is us, the Kanes. We are the three heads of one beast. Each of the clans will offer its own understanding of what is going on. Each of the 3 will use his own voice and the voices of their followers to lie and distort the truth. We cannot exist otherwise. However, in doing so, we will inadvertently reveal the entirety of the truth to anyone who would listen. So I am surrounded by lies. Truth is my only idol, for its truth proven facts. Word alone carry no weight for me. I suggest you believe no one. Perhaps I am the only one of the 3 rulers who would ask you to disregard his very words. If nothing else, I hope it will win me your favor. At least I am offering you honest advice. You should never trust any of us completely, neither Kanes, nor the Yogimskis, nor the Sabarovs. No one blindly. This goes against my principles. Furthermore, each of us will try to paint a rather ungainly picture of the other 2. Most likely, we will fill you in on the negative sides of every faction and withhold anything good about them. That is inevitable. None of us will stoop to outright slander, so everything will be said will be most likely true, but this truth will be one-sided and incomplete. Listen carefully to what we say and take into account. Thank you. The stories of the evil that the Kanes have unleashed into this world are partially true. Do not feel obliged to act in our favor. As you can see, I will stop at nothing to ensure an unbiased investigation. The lack of prejudice I want to instill in you is the one and only reason I'm taking a confession like this. I do not want my brother to have died in vain. Seriously, do not worry. Do you have anything else to say?
Few people know death.
Oh,
We only endure it.
no matter what. Okay, so he's just gonna... Okay. He's repeating himself. Hold on. The pursuit of a killer. Alright, I'm gonna talk to the Canes a little bit more. They seem like interesting people. I know they play more of a role here. Hello, you wanted to talk to me?
It came
Maria
from below
Kane?
the ground.
You resemble an
For many
adventurer rather
years,
than the
we were
doctor.
burying the bones wrong.
How is it that you know me? I saw you in a dream. Don't flatter yourself. My desires have nothing to do with that. I simply saw you take us all by the throat. What else did you see in that dream? I'll tell you when I think I can trust you. I hope that happens soon.
The caprice of our temper is even more whimsical than that of fortune.
Wow, okay. Now listen closely. The time for conclusions, secrets, and alliances has come. I'm going to ask something of you, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to holding the reins, but you are not harnessed, so it will be unacceptable to address you in this manner. I find solace in the fact that my request will be welcome with you. It fits your style, the style of your venture. Venture, and my job is no venture. Yeah. Oh, I don't think kindly to orders. I'm a creature of liberty. Neither of these sound like good things to say. Okay. I'm not an adventurer, and my job is no venture. I hope it never becomes one. I apologize if my words come across as mangled and silly. I am truly not used to asking. But the nature of my request demands complete and selfless humility. Just imagine me begging and kneeling, and believe me, I do feel that way. No need to kneel. What do you want to talk about? Today's death was the first, but it won't be the last. Simon has opened the score of replaceable victims. Soon their number will multiply. I beg you to preserve the lives of several people when the lines of their fortune comes across you. Before any of them dies, there will be a moment where you will be able to intervene. I know that for a fact. Who are these people? That doesn't matter. What was destined to happen will happen. You can be whatever you want, but not a coward choosing to hear no evil and run away from reality. I will give you a list of these people, of those I know. Those people are bound to you. Bound? There is a tight spring of power within each of these people. Each of them can break the routine of human existence and become slightly greater. They are standing on the verge of their humanity, gazing into the realm where they could serve a different, higher purpose, without even knowing it. Moreover, they are bound to make the leap, in one way or another. That's why we call them simply the bound. On to mine. Did you say my victory depended on them? How? I don't know. I'm not a mistress yet. The future is not as clear to me as I would prefer, but I can feel the present. I can already distinguish a dubious guess from the pulse of the precise knowledge devoid of words and images. These people are bound to you. Their lives are connected. I wouldn't have asked you to take care of them otherwise. Are you clairvoyant or something? Ah, yes, you haven't been told, have you? I didn't even cross my mind that someone may be unaware of my abilities. No, no one here dares doubt them, for they are evident. Yes, the mistress of every ruling house possesses special abilities. I am learning to see the future and transform the present. Fact, this fact offers your words a different degree of authenticity. Will you comply with my request? Will you save the lives of the people I named to you? Answer me before going back to Eva. Alright. If it is truly within my power, I will do my best to save their lives. So we've got Georgi Kane, Victor Kane, Andrew Stomatin, Peter Stomatin, Maria Kane, Eva Jan, and Mark Immortal. Got anything else to say?
It came from below the ground. For many years, we were burying the bones wrong.
We, the Canes, have always been out of touch with mundane reality, but we are driven by love. Love can be furious, funny, and blind, but there's never a need to make excuses for it, is there? And what exactly did you see in that dream of yours? The one yet had to do with me. A truly terrifying battle is ahead of you. If no one has ever told you about your fate, I will be the first. You must know that I admire you in advance, regardless of the outcome. You will fight a foe that few can defeat. Is this a prophecy? You will clash with your foe like a dragon slayer, but your weapon will turn against you, striking at the heart. You will end up with your own flesh torn. Every drop of blood you squeeze out of that heart will turn into a gulp of yours. If your foe escapes you, penetrates you, or saddles you, you will hear malicious laughter in your ears, and my crestfallen weeping. So it's about the murderer. Well, I will make them regret your tears, whoever they are. Okay. What the? Why are these guys here again? The town is small and rather unexceptional, isn't it? But there are kinds of people here, the simple folk, and the more remarkable ones. The former will tell you more than they know. The latter know way more than they're ever going to let out. Keep a close eye on them. Your victory is dependent on them. And who are these remarkable people? There are 20-something of them, easily distinguished by their lodging and presence. They're called many names: the Bound, the Fated, the Adherents, the Gobos Taglur, the town's Circle. Simon preferred their company to any other. Why? Because it is they that will decide the fate of this town. Don't be distracted by the fact that some of them look insignificant or disreputable. They will earn their worth. You just give them time. They're the most important joints of the town. Why are you telling me all this? Each day, one of them will try death by the tooth. Each will put their life at risk, and each one that dies is important. Some of them make the keys to victory to the grave. Mind that the keys are yours, while the grave is theirs. Others will do the opposite. Don't waste your chance to condemn someone who might get in your way. How do you know what is helpful and what gets in the way? Okay. All right. Dropping you more hints would be cheating. Shutting up now. Allow me to conclude then. Each bound you save will influence the finale of your adventure. Each of them has their own goals and motives. It may so happen that those who seek different endings survive, and then, well, you've been warned. Okay, I'll take that into account and we'll be careful. What do you got to say? There is something in particular we feel the urge to warn you about. When you speak to the Bound, please choose your words carefully. Do not worry. You will be easily be able to make out what kind of person is standing before you. An observant man you are. So use that skill when dealing with the Bound, and some of them are indeed worth insulting, whereas others need to be treated with utmost respect. I have no idea what you're talking about. Every line you utter will have a consequence. News spreads rapidly around here. If you spoil your reputation in one place, you have to reap what you sow in another. Restore your good name to the south, and you receive a warmer welcome in the north. They will heed every word you say, and you'll be rewarded. Not by means of money, I hope. Handful of money, it's not a dialogue fee. Don't get me wrong. Never refuse to take small sums of money from the Bound. That would belittle you, and that would not belittle you in any fashion, but would rather demonstrate that you appreciate the local customs. Alright, I'll keep the local customs in mind. Okay, and now we go around town. We gotta speak to Victor. How do I check my vitals again? I think it's a V. The fuck is that? Hello, Victor. The famous Dr. Dankowski. Your arrival is a great honor for us. Victor Kane, at your service. Danil Dankowski, at yours. I foresee that the things that have become ordinary for us will probably make you feel uncomfortable and disturbed. I would like to compensate for that impression. You know, our small community has fallen out of the loop. Time leaves us behind. What do you mean? I mean the traditions. Games that we play with passion will most likely be of no interest to you. The people you meet here may seem eccentric, naive, or even somewhat deranged. Please take it easy on us. Don't judge us too strictly. I will do my best not to disappoint you. How can I help you? Georgi had told me everything, which is to say he told me very little, but it was enough to astound me. He maintains that you can provide more detailed account. So, you have agreed to help us? I have. I ask why. The killer's goals seem to align astonishingly well with the goals of those who have waged war against my work for years. Well, with the goals of those who have been waging war against my work for years. Answer any questions you might have. When was Simon last seen? He sent Isidore home. Then, an hour later, he came to the hall to see us. He announced his plans to withdraw to the Focus and received no one. He told us not to approach the focus for fast for a week, partaking of neither meat nor water. Then, in the morning, he was found dead. How was he found? The servants discovered him in the morning. The room had been ransacked, everything that was breakable had been broken, his disfigured, contorted body broke signs of terrible suffering. His neck was twisted, his spine was broken. I think no one has touched the body. It is currently inside the focus and will remain there for a prescribed amount of time. What is this? What's this focus place? It's hard to explain. It's his study, if you will. An extraordinarily spacious creative laboratory, almost perfectly sealed off, except for the door that was visible at all times. Metaphorically speaking. I don't understand. It's like an equation, or a mirror puzzle. Anyway, the murderer could have been hiding there. Could not have been hiding there. Take my word for it. Well, Simon did get in there somehow. He could perform far more impressive feats. There's a reason why the whole town revered him. Alright, so how can I help you? Just take a look around, trust your intuition, do whatever you like, speak to whoever you feel you need to. Look for the murderer, doctor, and you will find them. Keep looking until the last breath. I'm sure your rational thinking will help you. So Isidore is the only lead. How can I find him? I'll show you, but you must be careful. Simon's murderer, whoever they are, could not be an ordinary person. I can't imagine them even being a person. I fear it could only be fate, weaving the guise of a mysterious monster. I will be careful. Alright, so that's Isidore's place. Got anything else to say? There's no need to worry. Okay. Nothing else to say. I'm used to clocks being the save thing. Jesus, that's a distance. I should probably go back to talk to Eva. Hi. Anything I can do for you? I'd be much obliged if you helped me learn how to get around your town. There's more than one town here. The first one's called the Bull Project. The second one, the offspring of the project, is the districts. I mean, the residential part itself. Not so long ago, the town was dropped anchor across the river, but I wouldn't go as far as to call that part a district. It's just the polyhedron. What is inside of that polyhedron? Nothing really. Children like to play there, I guess, and they say it's perfectly empty, bare as the palm of your hand. What could there be inside such a monstrosity? I found it unbelievable that it's still standing at all. I'd never let my children enter that damn thing, ever. So what about the Bull Project? It's the industrial base of the town. The station, the warehouses, the works, and the abattoir all belong to it. I wouldn't recommend going there. It's not an appropriate place for a person from the capital. It's filthy there, and the stench. I'd say it's not an appropriate place for anyone at all. Well, going there anyway. Say, how come such a tiny town is divided into districts? Well, it's just sort of came to be that way. The Gullet and the Guzzle, the Gorkon's tributaries, divide the town into 3 parts, each of them consisting of many separate courtyards, so maybe that's the reason. And what about these parts? The lower parts, adjacent to the abattoir, is called Earth. The one between the Gullet and the Guzzle we call the Knots, and the triangular promontory between the Guzzle and Gorkon is the Stoneyard. What are the districts' names? This is 2 districts, the Bridge Square and the Atrium, plus the Mistress's Tombs, of course. Earth has 4 residential districts: the Scanners, the Skinners, the Tanners, the Hindquarters, the Crude Sprawl, and the Middle. Is something wrong? I'm just not sure you need any of this. The Knots have 7 districts: the Spleen, the Marrow, and the Chine, the Backbone, the Mouth, the Flank, and the Gut. I don't suppose you need to go any further details. Surely the games will show you around. They're expecting you, after all. Much obliged. Wait. Is there... Alright. This seems like it's gonna be a task to navigate a little bit. Hello, Ava.
My lacquer is cracking, see?
What? That ominous singing outside the window was gnawing at me. Who could be singing at a time like this? Very little time has passed, but I feel hungry and exhausted again. Trying to fight death, you will have to be very careful. It's September. You will be dying with every breath of our air. What am I supposed to do? Not breathe your air? Should I have stocked in the air in the capital? What does September have to do with it? The steppe is full of various herbs. They fill the air with dizzying vapors. White-whip, twire, and swevery are dangerous in August and September. When herbs surrender their juices to the sun, people tend to get headaches this time of year. Heart suffers, lie in bed in pains. My heart aches too. How do you people live here? Twires are rare herbs, so it's usually it's bearable, but this year it's unbelievably plentiful. The elderly says that it's a phenomenon, this is phenomenon. Nothing like this has happened before. They think it's a bad omen. Well, I don't believe that, but the air is droning. Can't you feel it? Don't you feel dizzy? Yes, the air is heavy. You will need to sleep often. Never go hungry, drink more water. You need to look after yourself properly. If you feel sick, forget everything else and get some rest. Otherwise, you may die of a heart attack or bleeding. Careful, alright? Both my heart and mind are strong enough. The faster I die. That's symbolism if I ever saw it.
Yes?
That ominous... I can't hear anything. Oh, that's the bell. That means an hour has passed. Ah, shit. Hold on. I need to check my stats. What? V is that. T is that. Hello. No, thank you. I'm gonna grab some stuff from the trash cans. Razor. Trash cans. Trash cans. Okay. Alright. Ah, jeez. Hold on. What's the button that lets me check my vital? I need to check the fucking thing again. Settings. Controls. Plague Finder, attack, alt attack. Show / hide hands, tab. Sneak, reload, inventory. Map, diary. It's a lot. Letters is L. Character status is P. Okay. My health and immunity, my hunger and exhaustion aren't that high yet. So I should be fine for a bit. Okay. Which direction do I need to go in, though? Quite a distance away. Mm-hmm. Okay. Trash can. Isidore Barak's message. I'll read that a little later, I think. Alright. I have played the original before, so I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing here. I played 2 before, so I have an idea of what I'm doing. But I don't have a perfect idea of what I'm doing. Alright. If I remember correctly, and I should, we can probably cut through this area to make it easier to get to Isidore's house. If I remember correctly. No. I really hope I don't get lost. I'm just very bad at directions. Because, like... Is this the... This doesn't remind me of anything that I've seen in 1. The town is a little different. Like, it functionally looks very similar, but it's a little different. Like, it's different enough to be, like, decently disconcerting. How much is my inventory looking? Alright. This is a homeless man, right? Homeless man. Once again, no one's asking. Got a smoke? Tell me about yourself. Factory worker? Okay. For sins or not handle the workload well enough. This might be so. Sit still. I can appreciate that. Moreover, living on as a commune is warmer. Support, team spirit, and all that. But when you've got one bite, 1,000 mouths, one gulp, and 1,000 throats, support becomes irrelevant. They're starving and therefore becoming weak. Starving out here? You don't seem to be. Big city goggles, eh? Just take a peek inside the dormitory. You'll turn your nose up in a split second. That's what they seem to be. Starving, alright. The train is about 2 weeks off schedule. Yeah, it works fine for them. Provident squirrels. The rest of them are hunkers. Kindly stop shouting. Okay. Should just be a straight shot to Isidor's house from here. Jeez. The fucking ambience in this game is crazy. Fucking crazy. Oh no, that's the drunks. I remember them because they walk around weirdly. Like they kind of like do a little dance as they're walking. How about it? You have water and I have bandages. Tourniquet. Or how do I trade? Wait, how do I trade? Price 5. 5 for one of these. How do we confirm? Alright, there we go. I got a tourniquet. That's pretty good. I don't... Okay. I don't know if the map pauses everything. Oh, there's a food store. I need to buy as much food as I can if I remember correctly. Food store. What? Is the food store not open? I'm confused. Why can't I get into the food store? Okay. That's a food store and I can't get into it. Okay, whatever. Is this Isidor's house? I think it is. Did I make a... Oh, fuck. I think I made a wrong turn. This is Isidor's house. Am I dumb? Fuck. I don't know what's going on. How do I get into Isidor's house? I am lost. What? What am I doing wrong? Oh, here it is. I gotta talk to these guys, right? A foul murder occurred here this night. No unauthorized access allowed. Inspecting the crime scene is strictly forbidden until further notice. Who was killed? Well, you're not a local, sir, so you're unlikely to understand the loss we've suffered. Isidore Barak, a great surgeon, a benefactor to us all, and an all-around skilled doc. An outstanding man, beloved and well-respected by us locals. Does it really always have to take the very best? What a foul time. I knew him. I'm a doctor, too. Whoever killed our only doc must surely be looking to get us all killed. Isidore could cure anything. He also knew how to make cuts or incisions, because he was a warden. He knew the lines all right. Like I said, it all makes sense. Whoever killed Simon took Isidore's life too, and this is merely the beginning. Okay, what makes you think these two cases are connected? Well, what would have the heart to do such, man? If you'd asked me yesterday, I'd have told you no one would dare inflict such an ugly wound on this town. But if there is someone, it has to be that someone. Just that someone. Although it looks fishy, if you ask me, the thing was no man. That's what I think. Explain yourself. See, this murderous deal is all mysterious. There was a talon stuck in the victim's chest. Go ahead, bend your arm at the elbow, good sir. Yeah, like that. There you go. That's how long it was. It broke off. There was dust on the floor, and for the deceased had been a renowned step walker, and the dust was all covered in hoof steps and like traces of a sharp bone, I guess. As if someone was using a walking stick. Around here, I'm telling you, it's her, the Shabnakadir, the clay man-eater. I want to inspect the building. We've been assigned to this post by Alexander, the head of the Saburov family. His house is in decline right now, but it's still powerful and very much respected, for it is they that have been responsible for maintaining worldly order and public safety around the town since olden days. Please kindly address your concerns to him. There's their rod. You just take the road up there and get to the Cape. As for me, I'm not authorized to let you in. You should have said so from the start. Okay. Well, I guess it's time to do some more walking to the Saburovs. Is that a fire? Oh, wait, I think I know what this is. That guy got a knife. Yeah, they're just burning a woman alive casually. Oh, cool. Gun and bullet. That's neat, I guess. Alright. That cutscene is a lot more interesting in this version of the game, I guess. Oh, it's a lot more funny in this one. Like, it's just like casually burning a woman alive. It's not even like she's not screaming or anything. All right. I can tab to raise my fists. All right. Walking. While we're walking around. That's the game. It's walking. Alright, let's talk to the Saburovs now. Hello, Mr. Saburov. So, I finally get to see you. Yes, you really do look like a messenger of sorrowful times. In any case, welcome to the Rod. Our meeting is quite significant in a way. Facing the changes with open eyes and taking their first blow as my duty. For an especially unhappy era. No grim events have clouded our existence since last summer. The country has cured its war wounds. Commercial communications have been repaired. Astrologists suspect nothing ill. Do you hold astrologists' opinion in high regard? Sometimes I have to. Are you an astrologist? I am a ruler. Astrology would be very curious, but I cannot allow it to influence my decisions. I have to act according to factual circumstances. Would you agree? Definitely.
I will restore the order here, rest assured.
So you've come to meet Simon, have you? What can I do for you now? I was actually invited by Isidore, so I came to meet him first and foremost, but now it turns out that he's been murdered. Yes, looks like the murderer is always one step ahead of you, doesn't it? The same one that took Simon's life, too. At least, that's the conclusion as suggested by the information at my disposal. Same pattern, same signature. So, who did it? You wouldn't believe me. Believe it. His own son. The fellow came back after being away for quite a while. His father was sent him to study surgery when he was but a greenhorn. Quite a lot he has learnt, huh? A wandering scholar turned evil to the bone, all of that, just to grab the inheritance. Wait, how did you figure that out? In all honesty, it's hard to explain to an outsider like you. It's clairvoyance. Bachelor. No. Well, you should get to know my wife then. Or better yet, those who have already had opportunities to witness the power of her prophecies. Former doubters, first and foremost, rationalist. She's got something to say to you, by the way. So your wife called out Isidore's son specifically? Specifically, no, but it all adds up. And the circumstances of Simon's death make you wonder, too. Isidore's son arrived here last night. Timing speaks against him. It even matches the time it takes to get to the crucible from the crucible to Isidore's house. What about the motive? He's the type that needs no motives. Students these days know nothing of virtue and ethics, and a medic, too. Humans are just hairless animals to them, or even harmful virus infecting the environment, cynical bastards. Oh, but I do apologize. I didn't mean to offend you, even by extension. Kind of students as well.
I've got a firm hand.
So, who are the people that volunteer patrolmen? We usually keep them around 20 of them, but I've increased the number recently to 100 and a half or so. Why do you need so many? There's unrest in the territory. If I were certain that Isidore's been murdered by his son, I wouldn't even consider the crime to be politically motivated. Isidore was prepared to take over the kin and become its leader, at least according to the information I have. Your wife again? No, the source is a bit more straightforward this time, and you really shouldn't look down on my wife's talents with such skepticism. Although you'll come around soon. Hopefully your lack of faith won't end up being too costly for you. Time is running short. Where did the information come from? Aware of the fact that Isidore came to me last night, just after he returned, and warned me that there were some ominous events ahead of us. I took this as an unofficial warning about his upcoming takeover. So you took measures? Evidently I've mobilized the patrols. I see what you're implying, Bachelor, but I'm not insane. Engineering Isidore's murder, as a matter of fact, a strong independent kin under Isidore's rule would have been way more useful to me. Really? Why? Because that would weaken the power of the Honorable Vladislav Olgimsky, who's pocketed the economy of the whole town. You'd rather see the kin as dumb and speechless herd. Come to think of it, well, I'm sure you understand where I'm going with this. I do.
This Haruspex is trying to prove his innocence. It's a no-go.
Simon's death is my fault. Okay. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, and I do, I believe that I'm getting a little stuck on level geometry.
I'm afraid I'm of little use now.
The only proper way for a duel to end is with the death of one of the fighters. That's what battles are supposed to be. Any conflict that has two sides inevitably turns into a battle of good and evil. Why are you telling me this? I'm not speaking metaphorically or metaphysically. I'm talking about a particular battle. You're one of the combatants, Bachelor Dankovsky. Do you favor good or evil? I favor winning. Spoken like a true warrior, I truly wish your victory, Bachelor, even though I doubt there can be any victory at all in this battle. Thank you. You're a brave man. Thank you. You're a brave man, Bachelor Dankovsky. Why? This fight is very unlikely to end in your favor. Does a clan bow man-eater leave traces of the kind you've witnessed? It's only a spell, an illusion. They prefer to see it this way. It makes it easier for them. Georgi in his efforts to find the murderer. I'm sorry to break it to you, but you will have to fight to the death, even if it were a metaphor. The ending is still ambiguous. If you don't find out what happens before nightfall, you will die. What happened before nightfall, you will die. Huh. How do you know all this? I'm clairvoyant. Thank you for your help.
Simon.
Oh.
To tame his impertinence.
Do you think Simon can... Oh. How could someone be absorbed by absorb all our blood, not die? A single man cannot handle that. There are limits to a living being's vitality, and there are limits to a world's patience. Inevitable? Is that what you're saying? Who is to blame for his death? Even if someone did have something to do with it, and that person is worth blaming, most likely they didn't even realize they were killing someone. Yes, that's how it was, and now I see it very clearly. See, you're clairvoyant. Okay. Well, I'm lost. So... Huh. I guess... Where am I supposed to go next? Huh. Alright. Well... That is a dead end. I don't know where to go next. Let me see. If I remember correctly, from the video that I watched. Hold on one second. Do I really... Alright, you know what? Alright. How do I... Yulia, Shiva. Oh, I must have missed something. Okay. I must have missed something because I'm supposed to go to Yulia's place, and I'm pretty sure I know where Yulia lives, but yeah, it's there. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go to Yulia's place. I'm pretty sure, at least. I must have missed something because my attention span is dog water. Okay. All right. Yulia Yurcheva. Hello.
There are unseen
Lost capacity for observation. My mind is out of tune. Things no longer add up. Before I had no trouble forming a trustworthy tessellation out of most imperceptible contingencies. Could it be that I am dying? Heck, I think that's what causes it. However, Tavirina is a blossom, I grant you, but then it blooms every year. Every year the steppe is filled with its stupefying vapors. This year I'm having, however, has nothing to do with fatigue or perplexity. It's just that I've lost my ability to make distinctive events coincide. Everyone. What herb is that? No matter what preternatural traits the locals ascribe to it, Twire is all heady aroma. A bunch of superstitions and remarkably little else. It has psychoactive properties, after a fashion, but then so does simple wormwood. Visions caused by ingestion of belladonna or Jimson weed are much more fascinating than what Twire has to offer. It's a pity I'm not a botanist.
Yes.
Travel all the way here only to find both people you wanted were brutally murdered. Is that how the story goes? I do hope your visit is not in any way planned for those. I mean, the slightest way to find the killer. You have any relevant experience? Do you want to know how a murderer may be found? Looking for killer it is. Not really. Not really. Incidentally, it is more than possible that the killer is hiding in the house of Anna Angel, a thespian of sorts. Now, here is another woman of attention. In fact, I heard some ghastly man covered in blood was seen entering your house today. How do you know about this? The town is a small place, Bachelor. The wind carries rumors with falling leaves, mixing bird feathers with emotion. We all know one another so well that we are sometimes able to hear each other's thoughts. A family trait, if you will. But that being said, I doubt that that man is in his house with the real killer. Where does this Anna live? She lived in a mansion that was once belonged to a family of exiles whose political views led them to a far-out town like ours. Because of some ill-conceived sense of camaraderie, they were happy to give shelter to a runaway actress. As soon as she told them she was persecuted by the powers that be, a few years later they died, suspiciously if you ask me, leaving Mellow, their daughter, in the care of their companion. Willow soon died thereafter. Mysteriously? They all died of natural causes, allegedly, even though Willow was buried in a tightly closed coffin. The body was examined by Isidore Barak. However, he is not a man who would cover up a crime. Anyway, you would do good to take a look at the house yourself. The mansion is known as the Willows. It stands by the gullet. Well, Anna, huh? Well, I'll get to know her. Okay. Anything else?
This girl is a changeling. She's not the murderer.
Do you like Eva Yan? Very much. It wouldn't be much of a stretch to say I absolutely admire her. Yeah, same here.
My arms are flaccid, as if made of cotton wool.
What do you make of all this? So I've heard. A wisecrack I know says that while you are trying to complete the portrait of the killer is busy painting yours. Hilarious, is it not? The hunter becomes the hunted. However, I will put it bluntly. You have become the keynote of this particular plot. The intrigue is so rich it will keep you busy for your week, if not longer than that. What would you do if you were me? If you want my advice, I wouldn't trust what our feudals say. The perpetual triangle of influence means that every party concerned will do their best to use their authority to their own benefit. I'm not that conceited. Perhaps people lower standing would not try to use me. It is much more likely that people of such standing would be too scared to cooperate. Given your position, you may want to try your luck with a shadow of a cabinet of nobility, the women of influence. They know much more than the simple townsfolk, yet they care much less about the families in power. Are these ladies aristocrats? That's such a way of saying it will be of relevance strictly within the specific context of values and perceptions characteristics of a backwoods hole like ours. The catch is that the aristocracy is not defined by birthright here, rather the status it is granted by your degree of enigmatic fascination that a woman possessed of questionable background, audacity of demeanor, the whole assortment. Do tell me who these affluent ladies are. Lara, Eva, yours truly, and last but not least, Maria. Maria, I wouldn't listen to Katerina if I were you. Her morphine habit has turned her into a walking corpse. The others, however, are liable to deceive. You don't like being lied to, do you? I can't stand it. It's better to die than lie. I see. Perhaps you're being played with then. Even less so. In this case, Maria seems to be your best bet. She's too arrogant to lie, and too respectful to dare play with you. You should value the affection of someone this proud. But I digress. What is your intended course of action? It seems the Canes have been so considerate as to promote me to the rank of bait. There's no need for any special efforts to play that role. The main thing is to be available. Wait, what?
As the mind endeavors to reach one goal, the heart incentivizes.
Laura, rather not speak on that matter. You know Laura well enough to meet with her is as you wish. Hold on. Well, did I get a letter? Blood-covered fugitive. Alright. Alright. Pursuit of a killer. Other tasks. Someone covered head to toe in blood. Alright. Shouldn't be too hard to get to Anna's house. Ah, God. Hello, child. Do you have anything? We all know about you. Shall we bought it, perhaps? Bullets. Cool. I don't have any bullets. I don't need bullets right now. I don't know what I'm doing. Hello, child. What's in your pockets, pumpkin? Actually, you want to trade something? Why not? Sure. Meridorm? Painkiller. I don't got nothing to trade with you, kid. Jeez, this game is interesting. What time is that? Also, what is my... It's 9:20. I'm not really hungry or exhausted. Hello, child. Bye, child. Guessing this is the place, right? Place of Anna Angel. Hello, Anna. You look different.
When you look her in the eye, your mouth just kinda...
What? Who the hell are you? Why have you donned that dreadful outfit? What's wrong with my outfit? It's snakeskin. Are you a performer, a circus actor, a tamer? Tell me the truth. Calm down. I'm a scientist, a professor. Do you understand? I study death. So, I knew someone like you would pay me very soon. How horrible. What's horrible? Everything is horrible. You came to, after me, right? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I used to sing every
That man,
evening.
he's like dead, right? No pulse means dead. So scared. He barged in here bloody. I thought he was sent here, but he didn't try to attack me. Let's look at those hideous wounds. It's like he cut with precision to mangle a body as much as possible. Experienced surgeon, someone who knows anatomy. His sinews are cut. Mumbling something to that extent. There's murder going on, right? Well, they mistook this guy for the culprit, even though he was actually a hunter. A hunter, not a huntee. It was Simon's murderer that wounded him so horribly, wasn't it? Why do you think that man himself went to a morgue? There's a good chance he'll be identified there. We don't have a morgue in this town. When someone dies, a small service is held, and they are buried by the family. That's the local tradition. Oh, and there's been no murders since I moved here. It's just so horrible. If this is how it's going to go now, whatever happened to us? So, what are you going to do now? You don't just don't you call anyone here, okay? Please, I'm begging you. If they find a dead man in this house, I'll... That's hard to explain, but I promise I'll do so later, when we have time. I didn't kill him, I swear, and I couldn't have mutilated him so horrendously. At all. Reverend gave you that idea. People would be more than happy to accredit this blood to my hands. They just need an excuse, a chance to grab me by the arm, and then they'll twist it so hard that I'll even confess. So help me bury him, will you? Go to the cemetery, tell the caretaker there's someone less than living in my house. The caretaker died. Another dark story. Anyway, his daughter is the one who's taking care of the cemetery now. Her name's Grace. She'll see this dead man as though he was still alive and kicking her. I mean, figuratively, of course. Okay, and I'll help you get rid of the body, no questions asked. I'm expecting to hear an enthralling story afterwards. So I gotta go all the way to the freaking cemetery. Cool. I really... Okay. That's just... Wait, where's the dead body? Oh, here it is. I didn't even see it. I just walked over it. Oh well. Huh. Okay. Let's look at the map here. I'm assuming this is a side quest. Okay. I'm still confused about what to do next. Because the whole... Simon thing seemed to be a dead end. Which is concerning. I think maybe I did something wrong. Which wouldn't surprise me, considering I've never played this game before. I've played Path 2, though, so I thought I would be ready. But I guess I'm not. Where am I going? There's a child here. Hello, child. You got anything for me? No, you're just the same child I talked to before. Jesus. Okay. You know what? Let's go to the cemetery. I don't have anything better to do. I don't think. Last time's murderers broke into Thespian's house. Okay. His body off. They come to a convert and cremate with grace. Okay. I'm still legitimately confused about certain aspects of this game. Also, I'm a chronic map checker. I apologize if that's a problem for anyone, but I get lost very easily. If I remember correctly, the train tracks lead to pretty much anything you can imagine. If I remember correctly. So following the train tracks is probably a good idea. Yeah, we'll reach the cemetery before you know it. Yep. Assuming that's... The cemetery looks a bit different than I remember it looking into. Oh wow, that music change. Yeah. Oh. Hello? Who? And who might you be, Ray? Are you the caretaker of the cemetery? Pushing up daisies for, let me think, 5 years now. Turned to grass already. All excited to bask in the sun. Burial business. It's not far, the mansion on the riverbank. The hunchback over there, he's the boss. Should have told me straight away. What do you need, kind sir? I'm looking for Grace. Where is she? Taker's gal. No Grace around here, as you can see. The place is completely graceless. So what's your business to her? Right, man, without unnecessary fuss. Makes sense. Loads of sense. Being someone 6 feet under without roaring thunder. The process demands meticulousness. Sir, you know that. How long is the stiff gone stiff? I have no idea. You bring 2,000 here, sir? Kind sir? Well, 2,000? How much money do I have? Killer. Man, I can feel it. First way, your equipment would cost a fortune in our shops. More morons give you... They buy all sorts of crap anyway. Got loads of money saved up right now. What's... With the train coming and gradually selling their stuff, you could become a rich man in a few hours if you play your cards right. You have to follow your advice. Those greedy gravediggers seem to make... Yeah, I don't know. 2,000 seems like a lot of money. How much do I have? I have 1,400, which isn't terrible, I guess, but like... Well... I'll see what I can do about that, but I make no promises that I will follow that to its logical conclusion. Because I don't honestly care that much about getting a body buried. I'm just gonna follow my gut. If I remember correctly, and I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going. This game is confusing me. I'm gonna save really quick, and I'm just gonna... I don't know. I'm getting kind of tired anyways, so I should probably quit. It's like 2 o'clock. Alright, you know what? That was fun, I guess, but like, I feel like maybe I'm just not gonna continue. It feels kind of weird. You know? It's a very strange game. I think I enjoyed it to what I've played thus far, but I think I need a break from it. I'll probably come back to it at some point.